Monday Night Football.
Two TV Monday night.
The two TVs came in handy as the Ravens took on the Bucs and the Chargers took on the Cardinals.
I took my parents to dinner last night. I had YouTube TV on my phone watching the Ravens game, and then at the end of dinner, Dad was watching the Chargers-Cardinals game. It was kind of cool. I don't get to hang out with him much, but it's nice to see how he studies, same way I do. Little phone, YouTube TV. Gotta love it.
Did he have any takes?
Not the two TVs in the house for now.
Did he have any takes in the games?
We were just having a lot of Lamar takes. Like, he just kept saying, "Jeez, jeez."
Yeah, let's start with that because the Ravens traveled to Tampa Bay and just put a hurt on the Tampa Bay Bucs. 41 points. They win by 10. Going away, it really wasn't that close.
5 touchdowns, Lamar Jackson.
Even though the Bucs thought it was closer and decided to sacrifice Chris Godwin to football gods with less than a minute left.
2-possession game, less than a minute left.
Less than a minute left. I do have a problem.
Go get a touchdown and onside kick.
Stop.
Plus, you only have so many receivers on the field.
Risk reward.
And Mike Evans was already out. I'm with Todd Bowles on that one. I'm not going to kill him on that one.
Risk
It's not
reward.
the worst decision in the world, but it was also like it was at that point.
It wasn't Antonio Pierce kicking a field goal down 8.
What a moron.
But just this Ravens team at this point, I know they have 2 losses, and somehow one of those is to the Las Vegas Raiders. But I think at this point in time, they feel right up there with the Lions for the team you do not want to face in the NFL. I don't know how you go about stopping this offense. You can only hope to contain them because you stop the pass, they have Derrick Henry. You stop the run, they have 4 guys that can separate at a really, really high level on the outside. And then you stop all that, and all of a sudden Lamar Jackson breaks out of the pocket and still picks up first down.
I mean, your defensive coordinator is probably like, when this guy takes off and run, you hit him as hard as you can. I want 2-3 bodies on him every single time. Well, they did. They hit him with an Evander Holyfield shot to the head, helmet to helmet. The next play, I'm thinking Lamar's going to be out on his feet. The pocket converges around him, and whoop, he's out the back door. Lamar Jackson doing Lamar Jackson things. The end of the game, Derrick Henry getting the ball pretty much in the shadow of his own goalpost, going 80 yards. This team can beat you any number of ways. And to your point, it's the number of guys who can get the football, right? They're all ballers. And Mark Andrews had a slow start to the season, but Lamar finds him in the red area, finds him in the open field. Isaiah Likely's got like 20-some catches this year. He's been a good addition. I just think that offense, coupled with Lamar's skill set, we've seen this team get better and better on the offensive side of the ball every week, and they are so friggin' scary, Pete.
You know how you defend them? When you come to the line of scrimmage, whisper, "It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. Hey, this is the playoff game. They won't be as good. It's guaranteed."
That's a good one.
No, seriously, they're playing a magnificent version of offensive football, and Lamar Jackson as a passer has gone leaps and bounds past what even I thought he could go to, and I thought he improved as a passer last year. He's become such a good player. The reads, the progressions, getting the ball out. He is so much better. He's the MVP right now, and I don't think it's close.
Yeah.
And that offense is tough to beat. They do have some defensive issues. There's no doubt about that. They give up a ton of big plays, and I think that could be a problem going forward for him. But offensively, wow.
I mean, from the very beginning, you see Mike Evans streaking down the left side wide open between a corner and a safety that's like 20 yards away from him. That's just unacceptable. If you want to play championship football, you can't have guys that wide open, particularly in the pass game.
No.
I think there is no such thing as holding, Pete.
Well, of course you do. Of course you do. You never held either, did you?
There's no such thing as holding.
But
you should ask Mike.
It was a debatable hold. And so it's 14-0. Does that change the game?
A little,
Absolutely.
but there was no stop. It's who was going to stop this Ravens offense. The Bucs may have gotten a little bit more on track if they, put together those. So when they have the pick in the end zone, if they score there, if Mike Evans doesn't drop it on the one that then ended up not scoring later in that drive, it's like, yeah, maybe it's more of a game, but I don't think it changed the fact that they gave up 41 points.
No.
41 points is,
Lamar Jackson goes 17-22 for 281 yards, 5 touchdowns. Somehow not a perfect passer rating. Not sure what you need to do for perfect passer rating, but
that passer rating stat is dumb.
That's as close as
you need to go to
158.1. Derrick Henry averages 11.3 yards per carry on the day. He has an 81-yarder, goes for 169 and 15 carries. That offense just, after the first, start off slow, but then from second quarter on, just rolled. Flip side of the ball, though, maybe the worst loss for any team all season, outside of maybe like the Rams week 1, where they just lost everybody, but losing Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And Evans' hamstring, we haven't gotten word on how severe it was. It did not look like just, he pulled it again. That looked like
that looked like a bad one.
Yes. And Chris Godwin, obviously bad.
At
Dislocated
first,
ankle.
I thought, well, he dropped a touchdown pass, so he's going to pull the old I hurt the hamstring again routine, but that was really because he should have caught that ball.
Should have.
Yeah.
But then that was more severe than just like, he tweaked it. That was.
It's a shame because this offense has been coming along, finding a new way to get to make hay through the ground on the ground. But a lot of that is aided by the fact that they've got two legitimate threats on the outside. Not only legitimate, Mike Evans going to be a Hall of Famer. Chris Godwin has been really underappreciated in this offense. You lose those two guys. Now they got to reinvent the wheel again next week. So I'm interested to see how Liam Cohen and this offense gets going. But with Baker Mayfield, you've always got a chance. Obviously not a great game. They got to flush this thing immediately and move on. Yes, that was the Ravens. It's okay to get beat sometimes. Can't get beat like that. But moving forward, they got to figure out how to score some points.
They play the Falcons too this week again. They have the rematch with the Falcons.
Who's trying to figure out who the hell they are?
Right. And so it's a big game. They sacrificed Cade Otton at the end of the game too. How many shots?
My gosh.
How many shots to the head did he take? My gosh. And he looked good. So I think they're going to have to start leaning on that. I think Jalen McMillan, who I really liked, and he got banged up. I think he's going to be a big part of their offense now. But you're right. They're going to have to run the ball and kind of change a little bit of who they are.
Speaking of shots, how did Lamar survive that helmet-to-helmet hit from Kalijah Kancey? That would have sent to I'm
not sure. That's messed up. I'm not sure.
That was a spear.
I think some guys are just
and he just took it.
Tough. And Lamar Jackson is tough. He's from down here, Boynton Beach area. He's a tough dude. Okay. Every time I drive past that exit, I'm like, there's some Lamar Jacksons running around this neighborhood. There's some tough guys. And when he takes a shot like that, as an athlete, there's two ways. You can go in the tank physically and say, that hurt. That really bothers me. Or you can say, okay, let me go hit these guys where it hurts too. And that's with Lamar's legs. He did that. And also he threw from the pocket a lot. He's so tough. He's such a leader. Everything that we say about Baker Mayfield, being a tough guy, being a dude, being a leader of men, that's what Lamar Jackson is. Yeah. I had the opportunity to play with some guys that played with Lamar in Baltimore, Orlando Brown Jr., and he raves about him. And he always talks about how we go as he goes, and he's always going the right way. So for Lamar and the Ravens, it's good. They're rolling right now. They're as scary as anybody in the National Football League.